Hello, it's Francie. Welcome back to the channel. It has been quite a long time since I made a new video. I think it's been a few months or so, probably the equivalent amount of time to the entire second semester of 12th grade. But yeah, anyways, things happen, life gets busy, and I've graduated senior high school. To celebrate, I drew up 2 graduation-related illustrations of my persona, and that's what this video will be about. And also, just to catch up, it's been a while and there are some lovely birds chirping outside my window right now, so without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you've probably noticed if you've watched some of my older videos is that the format is different for this one. It's actually back to that typical SPEEDPAINT video format instead of just a recorded time-lapse of the artwork. The reason for this is actually also quite exciting because along with my graduation, I got a gaming laptop as a graduation gift. I actually chose this laptop myself and will be using it for a mix of drawing work, schoolwork for college, and maybe some gaming? Because I ironically chose a gaming laptop because hey, if it can handle high-end games, then surely it can handle whatever drawing or editing programs I might use. But the point is, this laptop can actually run a screen recording software in the background while I draw. I know it seems like such a small, insignificant thing, but this is my very first laptop that isn't a hand-me-down, so it's a great thing to me. Even our family computer couldn't handle a recording software in the background. Then again, I don't think I ever tried. But anyways, back to the main focus for today. Both of the artworks I'll be showing here today are actually drawings I made of my persona that are based on the actual printed photos of me that were included in my diploma. This first one is of the more formal graduation picture. Basically just sitting there looking at the camera being all behave. I remember our pictorial day for this. We just wore our school uniforms underneath a white toga and this blue thing that's apparently called a hood that also conveniently has the school logo on it. We did not have a graduation cap for both the pictorial and the actual graduation day, so sadly we didn't have anything we could throw in the air for that graduation aesthetic. I also remember this being really hot to wear and just be in general, because knowing the Philippines, it may as well just be a country-sized oven. In terms of the actual artwork anyway, I think this is my first proper illustration piece that I've done since being busy with the second semester of school. So I cut myself some slack for this one since I haven't drawn in a long time. And I think my art style changed a bit during the time I was not drawing. Who would have thought? Then again, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm not too excited about this first artwork in particular though, but there are some things I really like about it. For one, I drew the accessories I wore during the actual pictorial, mainly being the earrings and that short necklace. But also, I added a singular streak of brown to the hair. Why? Because I've recently discovered, well, it was a classmate of mine that discovered this, that I have just one single strand of brown hair on my head. Amongst all the black hair, there is just one brown hair. Another friend of mine joked about it being the only highlight in my hair, and I honestly quite like it. So from this day on, my persona's gonna have that one strand of brown hair too, because why not? Other than that, I think this is a decent enough artwork for someone who is just getting back to drawing after months and months of not doing so. I think that's it for this first artwork. Moving on to this second piece. I'm actually more excited for this one than the first, mainly because it's just more interesting. And also, it's a full body illustration, something that I don't frequently do. This artwork is based on my creative shot photo that was taken during the same day as the graduation pictorial. In case you don't know, since I don't know if this is a common thing in other schools or other countries even, but basically a creative shot is a pictorial where a graduating student from the graduating batch just takes a creative photo. I do not know how else to describe it, but you can basically dress up in whatever you like and have your photo taken by a photographer. Usually those students just wear the attire of their future profession in pictorials like this, but you could get more creative with it too. I've seen batches where they took their creative shots and one was a nurse in roller skates, another was a nurse with a rifle, and one of them just straight up dressed up in a full Counter-Strike outfit is the best way I can describe it. Just basically straight up a character out of a first-person shooting game. One of my favorites was this one where they dressed up as a chef with a cardboard cutout Remy on their head for Ratatouille. Honestly, it's so creative. For me anyways, I went with just some office attire, I suppose. Yeah. There's no harm in going simple, trust me, but I did bring my penguin with me. Of course I had to bring my penguin. I brought him with me to the class retreat, so yes, I have to bring him in my creative shot too. For this particular pose, I'm holding the laptop, pretending to be working, and then I look down to see my penguin child by my feet, asking for attention. And look, he has a little bow tie too, isn't that cute? He is such a good boy, such a distinguished gentleman. I even made him my wallpaper on my laptop. There were actually a few shots taken, but they only choose one to print out along with the diploma, and the rest were just sent to us through a Google Drive. But hey, I like mine. I think I want to get it framed even and just keep looking at it whenever I want. I'm glad they chose this photo out of all of the others actually. Interestingly enough though, while I was in the process of drawing this piece, I actually didn't like how it was turning out until the very last stage when I got it done. I don't know why, but there was just something about it throughout the process that I just did not like. I think it's the line art actually. Somehow I'm not really 100% satisfied with how I've been doing line art recently and how it turns out, or even the colors even. But I think that's just a result of not drawing for so long. And hey, I do think the highlights really made me like this piece a bit more. I mean, without those extra colored highlights like the purples and some hints of blue, I think this piece would look more boring and flatter, probably. So there's just a bit of a pop of color to make it look a bit more interesting. I also almost completely forgot to do the shading for this one too. But after everything and after under 3 hours, I finally liked how it looked. After that, I added a bit of shadow to the bottom area. The background color here is actually the same color as the background we used and stood in front of during the pictorial. And I added the shadow just to emphasize that hey, this is a photo taken during a pictorial and there's the shadow right there. With everything said, I really enjoyed finishing up these pieces. And I am so glad to be back to making these videos again. I really missed recording voiceovers honestly, but not the annoying roosters in the background and the cars in the highway since I live right next to a highway. I try my best to edit out all of the background noises, but if you hear them, then that's why our neighbors have a lot of roosters and dogs, and we live next to a highway. That aside, I did really miss doing this again. For this vacation, I'll be spending most of my time drawing and waiting for college entrance exam results. And probably in the start of August, I'll be off to college. I don't know what will become of me then, but I'll figure it out somehow. After senior high for me, college is next, and I'm sincerely hoping you'll stay with me for the ride. For now though, thank you so much for watching. Happy graduation to everyone who also graduated or will be graduating this year. Cheers to batch 2025, and I hope you have a great day.